Hey all, it's Christy again. Look, I did this video last night, wasn't happy with it. I'd done a long explanation on it, and I'm just doing a bit of a voiceover in the first bit because it was a bit contradictory and I'm trying to lead it into the rest of the video. But it is the 29th of October 2025. I initially did the rest of this video at 9:30 this morning, Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. It's now 5:15 in the afternoon. I'd had a dream a while back to go with the second video. I'm pretty sure I didn't remember. And this will lead into my explanation of why I really trust my dreams, and I've gone with it. But when I did the first initial voiceover, it just sort of came back in halfway through. So I'm just trying to say hey and hang in there to guide it into the next part of the video. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that. I hope you're having a great day and I hope you enjoy this video. See you, space. I really pay attention to my dreams. My dreams are spot on when a message wants to come through. 3 years ago, I lost my nana on my mum's side. I had a dream about it and I knew from July onwards there was trouble. And I had a dream of these hospitalisations, and then not long after that she passed. Anyway, the time came and gone for July, and I remember saying to my mother, I got those dreams wrong. I don't understand. My dreams are so accurate. I'm relieved, but I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, she had another hospitalisation at the end of that July. And a neighbour in her room, my mother went to school with her daughter, and so we were talking to her as well, and whatever else. And I remember leaving, and I turned to my mother and I said, I didn't get that dream wrong. I got the timing wrong. That lady was in my dream, and Nana died the following month. And it was so spot on, it wasn't funny. The car I drive now, when I got it, I was looking at two different cars, and I test drove and was going to go with the other car, and then remembered this dream and didn't get it, and got this car that I've got now because I got told how happy I'd be with it. It was an older second-hand car because it was all I could afford at that time, and I have been really, really happy with it. So I really follow my dreams, and sorry for the long-winded explanation there, but they're just two things of so many things that I really, really need to listen if I get a dream message. It doesn't happen every night, or it does, and I just don't remember it half the time because I'm just like, ugh, I need sleep. But yeah, and as I say that, I'm yawning, so I've put it out there. I need sleep. So my video last night that I did, it was the request for the Harry and William video. And I don't see any great thawing as such. I see that a truce of sorts will become apparent. And this is a prediction of death around the time that Charles passes. There'll be a truce of sorts, but there's no thawing. Their children won't grow up together. They won't know each other. It's not going to happen. It will thaw a tad more when Harry and Meghan split, because Meghan does get a lot of the blame of it all. But I think there was a lot underneath it that Harry held on to all this time and never let on, which could have been resolved. And the other thing, before I go much further into this, I would just want to own, and I do have projection on it, that I've been a pretty dysfunctional person in the past, and I still find elements from time to time that I'm like, I don't like that part of myself. And with the amount of lash out and anger and hurt that Harry's caused people has been me in the past. So I do hold judgment, but I come from a place of no good comes of it, and you hurt a lot of people, and having to take responsibility, and the shame, well, for me, the shame's crippling, and having to look yourself in the mirror and going to tears is pretty horrific. So I have judgment, but it comes from a place of, I can't believe you did that. Do you not know the price but neither did I when I was dysfunctional. So I just want to give that background too. So yeah, so William, I don't see forgiveness. For him, he's coming from a place of, do you not remember our childhood and what we went through? With the way they hounded our mother, and we had to watch and be so helpless. And you took this out publicly. You went after the woman I love and put my children in the same position. How dare you? That's totally unforgivable. You repeated history in that. And a lot of Harry's actions and courting the media and talking to the media like they are, for William, is just I won't even say the words because I think I'd get banned on YouTube. But there's lots of adjectives that swear words. And he is raging against Harry in it all. And Harry was the one person he was relying on really holding his hand through it. He didn't want to do that to Kate as much. He wants to protect Kate. She's taken a step back, but it's also been William's doing for her to be the backseat driver, because they never wanted her to be in a position like Diana was. So there's been preservation around her as such, which is quite ironic because I do believe she is pretty beloved. So I get that around that part of it. Also, Harry wanted a bigger piece of the pie that he wasn't entitled to. And for William, it's like, well, that's not going to happen. That's just a no-go. So that's where I sort of get William's energy on it, and the fact that the people closest to him were put in a position that him and Harry were put in as a child, willingly. He just, you're dead to me. So I get that quite strongly from William. And the other part of it from William that I get for entertainment purposes only, they weathered the storm of being a racist family, all that. They went through it all. And when they got through the other side, Charles and Kate were both diagnosed with cancer. And for William, it's quite a coincidence that they went through so much stress and public scrutiny at the hands of Harry, only to be diagnosed with cancer. And what's the connection there? Did you cause this? And his father really did go through quite a lot of pain with what Harry said and did towards the family. And he was bewildered. Charles was bewildered that Harry had all that in him. Believe it or not, I get that Charles was quite a humane person. He doesn't like to see anybody suffering. And he would have got the help for Harry if he could have. And he's tired and he's exhausted from it. And he just wants a break because it's been non-stop all these years, trying to be there for his boys and trying to do the right thing and trying to do the thing by the crown. For William, he actually has a lot of respect for his father. They've become quite close, I believe. But he wants to carry on the same way as his father. But the crown doesn't come first. His family does, and he really wants that. He doesn't want to be tired and buggered, and he doesn't want to raise a Harry. So he's trying to find that happy medium. For Harry, he's like, but I asked for this and you wouldn't give it to me. You asked for this, you're so arrogant, you're so this. And he's so determined that he is right that he can't see the other viewpoint or see the pain he's caused. He's got no idea because he was suffering. He can't see that his actions have actually caused pain for everybody else. And maybe it might have been better to deal with his pain than publicly air it all. So he's coming from a place of he's right, and that's that, and there's no backing down. So if anybody tries to talk to him, but I'm right. And whoever's shoes in a conversation when there's been a disagreement, 99% of the time will believe that their perspective is right. And it's finding that common ground to meet in the middle afterwards is how things get resolved. But Harry isn't capable of that at the moment. So that's caused the rift between him and William as well. Harry's not prepared to let down his shield as such. He says he wants reconciliation with his family, but if you're coming from a place of I'm right and not prepared to find common ground, there is no common ground to be had. When him and Meghan split up, I think it may be around the same time as Charles passes, it will improve the situation with him and William, but there is no great thawing as such of a relationship back. William thought Harry was the one that would support him through it, hold his hand and carry the burden of it with him. And for Harry, it's like, you wanted me to carry the burden, you wouldn't give me the titles, you wouldn't give me a bigger role, you wouldn't this, you wouldn't that. And they're both coming from a place of, but I'm right, in that part of the differences between them. I think they'll be able to be in the same room together and things as his marriage breaks down. And Harry may come back to family events, but only big family events, not little intimate ones. It's going to take William a long, long time to feel comfortable and to have that trust that he won't be betrayed with what Harry repeats about him. And I am so sorry, I meant to put music on in the background to stop outside noise and I forgot, so I'm sure all that noise will be in there and I do apologise for that. So I got that. I feel in 2040s Harry may be in a place to be able to reflect and take responsibility for the pain that he caused others in his lashing out, and that's when there's an opportunity for a real truce, shake hands, have a bit of a hug, and comfortably be in the same room in more intimate circumstances. I don't see them becoming close brothers again. There's too much water under the bridge as far as William's gone, and the people upmost to him have been hurt the most in it all. And until Harry takes responsibility for that, the intimate settings can't occur. And there'll be a lot of stuff in the 2040s that's going to shake William to his core. And it's like, I can't be bothered to carry that anymore. It's costing me too much. And that's when I see this truce type of thing occurring. I did see Meghan having the children in the US. I don't know, Harry splitting his time between the two. I don't know. I did say that this one I'm comfortable to say. I did say in my video last night that I saw Andrew potentially committing suicide not long after Charles, but I feel like it more's to come out about the Epstein files. But it's not just the Epstein files, and this isn't so much psychic as just common sense to me from survivors I've worked with in the past, that with the entitled way that Andrew behaved, they mightn't be underage, like Virginia Giuffre, sorry for my pronunciation there, I genuinely apologise. But he has lived a very, very entitled life. And whilst there may not be sexual assault, there will be women out there that didn't really want to do it. They didn't know how to say no, and he was in a position of authority and power. And I feel like there could be many stories like that to come out, and they don't really know. And I just feel like the chips need to fall, so the full extent of what he is really like comes out. It's not pretty, I don't think. On Fergie, I saw her being the woman of disrepute into old age. She's going to just become this mad, eccentric old woman. I think she'll always be chasing a younger man. She's not going to find what she's after, but she's had a lot of shake-ups with the cancer and stuff. But I feel like I read something recently, and I think it really summed her up, that she brought the girls and used them as a tool to get into Epstein, and she is like that, social climbing using her girls. I think I watched it in Bridgerton with the neighbour across the road, the red-headed lady and her daughters, and she's that type of character, the Mrs. Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. I just see her being that type of old lady. The other thing I said last night too was that I felt William was going to keep going with the streamlining of the monarchy, the roles, the titles. I think he really has respect for what his father's doing there. If he wants his children to have a normal life and to make it easier for them to have a normal life, they're his grandchildren, he needs to streamline it and get rid of the titles, keep some of the pomp and ceremony, but really bring it back to title only. How do I even put it into words? But he really wants it to come back to like a job as such, with just a small figureheads, so they can have a chance to have a normal life. And we want privacy and we want this. We have to still give something, but to have the privacy we want, we need to get rid of a lot of this enigma around us, and all these extra hanger-oners and all that, because we can't have the normal life, we can't have the privacy while we're still up there with all this. He'll still have the pomp and the ceremony and all that, but it's going to be much different. And for him, it is a case of value for money for the people. So in that, I also see William, a lot of the royals get these houses on like Kensington Palace. They get their houses or apartments or whatever that are all scattered all over it, really discounted rent, things like that. I see that becoming a bygone era. Working royals will get the perks, but if you're just a royal by birth, pay the market rent, no perks. That type of thing. Family's family, and it's very much, this is the employment side. Your family, come in. Come in, we're having a birthday, come on in. It's Christmas, come on in. But on the Crown land, where they've all been getting these extra perks, I see a lot of that just falling by the wayside. And it's value for money, but it's also keeping things sustainable for the future. So I got all that. And then the other thing that I really got quite strongly is that when Kate and Charles both went down, and when Charles and Camilla are no longer with us, there's not many working royals to do the job that they need. But I really strongly got not to bring Eugenie and Beatrice into that fold. They've been raised in a life of, I don't quite know how to say it, but it's another world they've been brought up in, and they don't have the ethic or the real life experience or common sense or understanding to be able to do the role. The other thing that I got last night that I was also going to say was that Princess Beatrice, I don't see her marriage making the 10-year mark. I feel like she's married a bit of an opportunist. I don't like saying that. I don't think either of the girls are bad people, by the way. And I think Beatrice is actually quite a kind-hearted girl, but just very naive. And it would make sense to me when I say that with the father she's had, that she's married an opportunist. It's what she's known. It's what she's been raised with. But yeah, opportunist was definitely the word that I was getting last night to describe her husband. So when the opportunist sees a better vehicle coming for him, he jumps off one ship and goes to another. And hopefully I'm wrong. There's children involved, there's hearts involved. They're never nice. So I'm hoping and open to being wrong on that one. I don't wish anybody any harm. I think that was all I got in the video. But I know that I was specifically asked about William and Harry And at the moment I just don't see any great changes. My insight on it all is where William's coming from, and Harry's determined he's right and he deserves the apology, and there's no ifs, buts or babies without seeing the other side and the pain he's caused, and that the other person also believes they're right. And when you have two people coming at each other with no common ground, but it's Harry against everybody, and he won't listen to hear that his actions have caused the pain as well. So that's my insight on that one, and the dynamics that are happening at the moment. 2040s will be the most improved in their relationship, so we've still got around another 15 to 20 years, I think, before any dramatic changes. And I saw the truce with when Charles passes, but that's a truce to be in the same room together type of thing. Comfortability in the same room together, and laying down of the grudges and everything else. I don't see it till the 2040s, and even then I still don't think they'll be close. Like, William will never know his niece and nephew. There'll always be distrust because of who their main caregiver is. They'll never come into the royal fold as such. So yeah, I'm sorry it's not more positive on that one. Yeah, I don't like ending the video on that. I'm trying to find something uplifting to say, but I can't quite come at it. But the other thing I did say last night, I'll end it on this note, was that on William and Kate, he looks over his shoulder now to make sure she's okay. I think he got through a very complacent stage before she got sick. And when she got sick, he was rocked to the core. His childhood trauma of what he'd been through with Diana came flying up for his children and himself. And the idea of losing her, I'm getting quite emotional as I say it, was really, really profound on him. So a lot of his old trauma came up, but also just how much she means in his world. She is going to be, when he takes over the crown, very much his anchor. There is so much... that was the other thing I also got, sorry. She is very much the grounding influence and the stabiliser within that family nucleus. And there's much that she does to hold it together. And as much as I actually really like Kate's brother. I really like his energy. And as much as there's been media things said about her family, I think they have brought a sense of normality to William's world, and he really values that. So there's many positives, and William really values the family that they've built together. He is very much a hands-on dad. Very much so. He wanted to do things differently, and he is determined to. And that's what I said before. It's the family before the crown, not the crown before the family. And that's where the difference with William will be. And to do that, they need to keep the people happy, make the family relevant, and bring it into the modern times, which is what he will be doing. That's why the lurks and the perks of discounted rent on these big places in the heart of the city and these beautiful countrysides, all that's coming to an end. But the other thing, last night, that's what I did get. The biggest issue that started it all, this whole thing, was that Kate was the one that read Meghan. Kate read her and went, William had distrust, Kate read her, got her, and she got it right. And from what I got last night psychically, none of this is fact, it's for entertainment purposes only, that's what started the war, because Meghan got a set in her for being seen through. And that's where all of this started. And then she manipulated and twisted the stories. So yeah, she's an interesting character, old Meghan. Anyway, take care everyone. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.